benefactor of O.P. Jindal Global University, Mrs. Shalu Jindal, our visionary Vice Chancellor, Professor Dr. C. Rajkumar, the Chief Proctor, Professor Sridhar Patnaik, the Joint Registrar, Ms. Kawaljeet Kaur, all faculty members, admin staff, student of JGU, and participants from other colleges, a very good afternoon to all of you. I, Sanjana, on behalf of the organizing committee of Biswamil, extend a warm welcome to all of you to the opening ceremony of Biswamil 2019. O.P. Jindal Global University takes pride over its extensive academic principles as well as its rich cultural values. Recently, our university completed 10 glorious years of its journey. Moreover, we are one of the youngest universities to be recognized as the institution of eminence. Now may I invite our chief guest, Mrs. Shalu Jindal, and our Vice Chancellor, Professor Dr. C. Rajkumar, to come on the stage. I request Professor Rajkumar to felicitate her with a token of our appreciation. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, sir. I request you to take a seat. Biswamil is one of the most anticipated events on JGU campus. This year, we are hosting the biggest Biswamil, and we are proud to announce that this year's Biswamil is a part of the university's 10th anniversary celebrations, which started back in October 2018. As a part of these celebrations, we have had a privilege to host various distinguished guests and have conducted numerous seminars, panel discussions, and cultural events. To commemorate the last 10 years, we present to you the JGU's 10th anniversary celebration film.
The foundation of O.P. Jindal Global University was laid 10 years ago in 2009. It was a result of a series of meetings and deliberations between the founding Chancellor and benefactor, Mr. Naveen Jindal, and founding Vice Chancellor, Professor Dr. C. Rajkumar, beginning with their first meeting on the 30th of October 2006. Mr. Jindal made a commitment towards building a world-class university in India, putting the necessary financial resources, building the university in a not-for-profit manner, and ensuring academic freedom, autonomy, and independence. Built on an 80-acre state-of-the-art campus and designed by the celebrated French architect, Mr. Stéphane Pommier, JGU is a philanthropic initiative of Mr. Naveen Jindal in memory of his father, industrialist and visionary leader, Sri O.P. Jindal.
My main inspiration and guiding light in life has been my father. He used to say that education and health are the best gifts that anyone can give to anyone.
The year 2019 marks a decade since JGU was founded. With a modest beginning of one school, 10 faculty members, and 100 students in 2009. JGU has made unprecedented strides in expansion and delivering high-quality, interdisciplinary education since then. Today, JGU has 8 schools, more than 430 faculty members, over 5,000 students, with a phenomenal world-class faculty-student ratio of 1:10. In the last 10 years, JGU has added a total of 8 schools. The Jindal Global Law School in 2009, the Jindal Global Business School in 2010, the Jindal School of International Affairs in 2011, Jindal School of Government and Public Policy in 2012, the Jindal School of Liberal Arts and Humanities in 2014, the Jindal School of Journalism and Communication in 2016, the Jindal School of Art and Architecture in 2017, and the Jindal School of Banking and Finance in 2018. The university also houses 3 research and capacity building institutes. The Jindal Institute of Leadership, Development and Executive Education, Jindal Institute of Behavioral Sciences, and the International Institute for Higher Education Research and Capacity Building. Being a research-intensive university, JGU has more than 55 interdisciplinary research centers to cater to research needs for academic pursuit and scientific inquiry for all our faculty and students. This has culminated in more than 3,000 publications collectively by our faculty members and students. Since its founding, JGU has actively promoted academic curiosity and freedom within all its schools. To further promote the spirit of creating open, unhindered, and unconstrained spaces for research and debate, the university has established a tradition of hosting scholars, practitioners, activists, artists, and policymakers from a range of academic fields on the JGU campus, bringing together diverse and independent voices on issues of local, regional, national, and global relevance. The first batch of JGU students graduated in 2012. Since then, our strong and growing alumni network has transformed into an engaged community of talented and committed individuals who are challenging horizons within their domains, work and study across India and in every corner of the world. We have nearly 3,000 alumni across different schools at JGU. The 8th Convocation and Founders Day ceremony, held on the 7th of August 2019, witnessed 889 students from law, business, international affairs, government and public policy, and liberal arts and humanities schools being conferred degrees at an inspiring ceremony.
A beginning may be made by introducing value education that will supplement the academic curricula, thereby preparing students to face the test of career and life with equality.
It's a colonial legacy which we have continued, and I'm afraid the time has really come for that legacy to be changed, actually, because you would not have a big university, great university anywhere in the world if it were run like a government department.
I'm very glad that Jindal has broken through, along with a handful of IITs and very few other institutions, in order to show the world that we are capable of replicating in a campus here at the edge of Haryana, a university that matches in facilities, in faculty ability, and in the talent and potential of its students, the best that the world has to offer.
Human resource becomes a very important economic resource. And to shape these minds, make them globally competitive, make them true global citizens, you need institutions of excellence.
You have to take back this value of global citizenship from this university. to give the real thank to your teachers, your parents, and to this university.
In India, we produce everything in terms of a mass. We produce a mass of people, and we've got mass of industry, and now we have mass of services. So what we really lack in terms of education is quality education. And you have a few of these islands of excellence like this one, which are dedicated to the pursuit of excellence in education.
This is the transformation that has to take place. Women must get their due. But you have seen, if you provide them a level playing field, they will excel and they will outbid the men.
International outlook and engagement have been accorded the highest importance at JGU. Global education is a sacrosanct promise to our students to help them keep pace with the new interconnected world. JGU has international collaborations with more than 250 leading universities and higher education institutions across 50 countries on 10 different forms of partnerships. We have 200 faculty and student exchange collaborations. More than 20 countries are represented in our student body. Our effort is to create a truly world-class institution with global aspirations and catering to local needs. It is also reflected in the diverse academic backgrounds that our faculty members come from. More than 55% of our faculty are alumni of the world's top 200 universities. 71 of our full-time international faculty members come from 32 different countries and regions from across the world. In a historic milestone for JGU, the Ministry of Human Resource and Development of the Government of India has recognized JGU as an institution of eminence. With this recognition, JGU has become one of the only 8 private universities in India to be awarded the status. JGU has been ranked in the 751 to 800 group of the QS World University Rankings 2020, placing it in the top 2.7% of all universities globally. JGU was ranked in the QS BRICS Rankings 2018, placing us in the top 3% of nearly 9,000 universities in the BRICS region. JGU also broke into the QS Asia University Rankings 2019, where it ranked among the top 450 universities in Asia, placing us in the top 3% in the giant Asian region. JGU has been granted autonomy by the UGC and the Ministry of Human Resource and Development and has earned the A grade from the National Assessment and Accreditation Council. This makes JGU the only private university in Haryana to be given this status. Under the 2018 Swachhata rankings of all higher education institutions by the Government of India, JGU was awarded the 2nd rank in the country. In 2017, JGU was awarded the #1 rank in the Swachhata rankings, recognizing it as the cleanest university in the country. The core of our institutional vision has been to serve as a model of excellence in education in India and around the world. We are optimistic that great progress can be made as we undertake the challenge of nation building through excellence and eminence in our institution building. As we do this, we are reminded of Mr. O.P. Jindal's mantra, where others see walls, we see doors.
Relive all these memorable moments. We would now like to invite Ashka Ann from the Dance Society of O.P. Jindal Global University on the stage to perform a Kuchipudi dance performance as a warm welcome for our chief guest, who herself is a celebrated Kuchipudi dancer. That was indeed a beautiful and soulful performance. The dance was a depiction of unfathomable beauty and dimensions of womanhood, waxing poetic on its audio-visual narrative. Now may I request Mrs. Shalu Jindal, Professor Siraj Kumar, Professor Sridhar Patnaik and Mrs. Kavaljit Kaur to take their seats on the dais. Our esteemed Vice Chancellor, Professor Dr. C. Rajkumar, has been a pillar of strength to the university throughout. His dynamic persona and persistent scout for excellence is widely famed.
All right. Well, very good evening to all of you. Well, congratulations to the Biswamil Organizing Committee. A round of applause to all of you. Well, it's a very, very special moment for us at OP Jindal Global University today because it's an extraordinary act of, I would say, personal effort on the part of Ms. Shalu Jindal, the president of JSPL Foundation, and a very distinguished artist herself, to have taken this effort to come to our campus today to be the chief guest. Of course, as you can obviously guess, she's no stranger to this institution. She has been here many times. But this Biswamil festival today is very special because it's the first time she's coming in her own capacity, and I'm grateful to her for her very distinguished presence here. So thank you so much, Shalu, for your presence here. I want to really take this moment to recognize her distinguished contributions at various levels. Obviously, you all know her role as a companion, partner, and indeed wife of Mr. Naveen Jindal, our distinguished benefactor and chancellor. But that's only one part of her role, although a very big role. But she's also a distinguished artist herself. So when she said that the Kuchipudi dance recital that was just performed by one of our students was outstanding, she is speaking on as an expert herself. So congratulations for our student who performed that. Charlie herself has been a very distinguished dancer and somebody who has not only been in this field for many, many years, but also attained many distinctions in India and around the world. There have been many, many awards and distinctions bestowed upon her on account of her very outstanding contributions. But it is not only her own contributions as a distinguished exponent of the Kuchipudi dance, but she has also deeply cared about this particular form of dance, but also art in general. She has supported many initiatives in this art and many artists across India, and also contributed to their own growth and development because this art does require a lot of support, not just financial, but also other forms of institutional support. So I want to also recognize her distinguished contribution as an artist. The third is her distinguished contribution as a philanthropist, but also as somebody who deeply cares about the impact of corporations and companies and business enterprises on the lives of people, but also how companies and corporations can also change the lives of people in a transformative manner. In this regard, she acts as the president of the JSPL Foundation. JSPL Foundation has had huge impact on the lives of millions of people across India, but specifically in relation to the places where the company has had its offices, in Odisha as well as in Chhattisgarh and a few other states as well. I have had the privilege to work with her closely in this role, and I have been amazed by her personal attention to details in relation to the work of the foundation, the social impact and the social engineering that this foundation has had on the lives of people, but also the empowering dimension of what corporations can do through the extraordinary work of the foundation itself. The foundation also, in addition to field-based work that takes place in these places, it goes beyond that mandate and recognizes the outstanding contributions of very many people across India who have also made a difference to the lives of people through the recognition of the JSPL Foundation Awards. And this particular award is an extraordinary contribution of the foundation because it actually inspires and motivates and recognizes and celebrates the contribution of change makers across India. And Mrs. Shalu Jindal personally takes efforts to spend time with the jury, and I've had the privilege to work with her, and her generosity, her magnanimity, her attention to details are absolutely par excellence, and that shows a deeper sense of commitment to humanity that is reflected in her work. The fourth aspect I would like to quickly highlight is also her deep concern for the women and in particular the girl children. In fact, she has been actively considering the idea of building a school which will cater to the aspirations of young women, particularly from the downtrodden and those who are marginalized and those who are simply disempowered to be able to be educated. And this is one of the key projects that she has undertaken, and in the years to come we will see the development of a school solely dedicated for young women who simply are not able to afford education to go to good schools. And the fifth, I think, an equally significant responsibility is that she is the mother of two wonderful children, both Venkatesh as well as Yashaswini. Both of them have been outstanding young boy and girl, but man and woman now. The reason I say this is that the kind of mentoring, the kind of parental care and concern that Shalu has shown all these years that I have known her demonstrates a very serious commitment to the future, because she performs that role as a mother. In that sense, she has inspired both these kids. Venki graduated from Yale University a few years ago and back in India, and Yashu is right now studying an undergraduate program at Yale, and I know for sure they simply would not have gotten there but for her inspiration and encouragement and support and all the things that she did as a mother. So Shalu, once again, congratulations and thank you for all your contributions. Most importantly, the contribution to be a benefactor in this university that is indeed changing the lives of people. So I want to once again thank you for what you have and Naveen have done for the posterity, in some ways contributing resources and being a benefactor for a university of this kind will outlast the lives of all of you, and in some ways both of you had the far-sighted vision to create an institution that will transform the lives of young people. So once again, congratulations and thank you very much. Lastly, I want to say that congratulations to the student community, in particular the Biswamil organizing committee. There are hundreds of people who are involved in this. I want to thank each one of you for making sure that this Biswamil festival has achieved once again a great success like it has happened in the last 5 years. For the purpose of Shalu, I must say that normally when we do events like conferences and lectures and workshops, it takes a lot of effort to fill up this room, but now we don't have any effort to do that because Biswamil is a student festival, and you are, of course, you are outstanding celebrating in that sense. So we, as a part of administration, had done very little to make sure that this is a successful event. It is the students' event. They worked hard for it, and they have made all of this happen. Congratulations to Biswamil Organizing Committee and all this.
Kind words. Light is a universal spiritual symbol of positivity and knowledge. Therefore, it is our tradition to light the lamp before we initiate a auspicious event. We request Honorable Chief Guest Mrs. Shalu Jindal, Professor Dr. C. Rajkumar, Professor Sridhar Patnaik, Ms. Kavneet Kaur, and Coordinator of the Fest Shine Varghese, Chairperson of the Fest Apurva Jha, to light the lamp and declare the fest open. Thank you all. Mrs. Shalu Jindal is not only the co-chairperson of JSPL Foundation, ex-chairperson of the National Bal Bhavan, and the founder-president of Young FICCI Ladies Organization, but also is a distinguished member of the JGU family. For her exemplary leadership in implementation of holistic sustainable social development programs, she has been recently conferred with CMO's Asia's Best Social Entrepreneur Award and the Mahatma Gandhi Award for Best CSR Leadership Award by the CSR Live Week USA. She truly is the face of new age Indian women. Ma'am, we are delighted to have you here with us and would like you to invite to share your thoughts.
Good evening, Professor C. Rajkumar, Professor Murthy, faculty members, administrative staff, and our dear students. Raj, thank you so much for your kind words. You made me sound so beautiful with the way you speak so magnificently, and must thank you for that. Firstly, I would like to congratulate all of you on O.P. Jindal Global University's completion of 10 glorious years. And its recognition as an institution of eminence recently. I remember that this university was started in a very modest manner in 2009. I could not be prouder to witness this campus bloom into one of the leading universities all over the world. I have recently heard experiences of what it is like to be on the JGU campus during the student-run festival, Biswamil. I'm very excited and happy to be here today amongst all of you to inaugurate the event. I believe that this time around, the students have surpassed their own milestones to make Biswamil the biggest festival in JGU. I've also been told that around 1,000 students have come together from outside to execute this event. Your efforts are evident. I congratulate each one of you. We all have been students at some point in our lives, and we completely understand the importance of a cultural life. I believe as a dancer that co-curriculars shape an individual, bring out the talents, and help in imbibing values that enable us to live a joyous and balanced life. I wish all the best to students who've come from different parts of India and abroad to compete in dance, music, theatre, arts, literary and quiz events. Educational institutions should focus on overall holistic development of students, and this is why the students of JGU have taken this endeavour to organize this festival. I'm sure this edition of Biswamil will be a great success as all the previous editions. I wish the best of luck to all the members of the organizing committee. I'm honored to launch the event today. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for your warm-hearted words. Biswamil has always been more than just a college fest, and we strongly believe that it is an emotion. And to express this emotion, I would like to invite the chairpersons of Biswamil 2019, Vijesh Kapila, Upasana Mehra, and Shreyas Maheshwari to show us the glimpse of the previous editions of Biswamil and share their experiences.
Mrs. Jindal, Professor Raj, faculty members, admin staff and friends from Jindal and participating colleges. I'm Vijesh Kapila. I, along with my colleagues, will be saying a few words about Biswamil. So, first of all, we would like to thank you all who have given us the opportunity to organize this event in the university. It is for the student body that we organize this festival, and we are glad to have all of you here during the launch of our event. We hope our words do justice to everything that this fest believes in and strives to achieve. Even though I believe that Biswamil cannot be done justice with words personally, I have always seen it as a bit of a conundrum. To merely stand here is a colossal honor. I fondly remember myself starting off as an enthusiastic volunteer in my first year. 4 years later, I witnessed that this very enthusiasm in the student body has, has made us successful as the organizing committee. Most importantly, it is an honor for the entire university to have Mrs. Shalu Jindal on the university campus here with us on this momentous occasion. Indeed, the face of the new Indian women, she inspires not only me, but this entire university. I can say with affirmation, we are grateful to host you, ma'am. So Biswamil stands today as JGU's biggest cultural fest, and that would not have been possible without the constant support that the administration has given us. Now I invite my colleague, Mr. Pasta Mehra, to say a few words.
As we come closer to the fest, I would like to take a moment to thank our esteemed Vice Chancellor, Professor Dr. C. Rajkumar, the man who has upheld the morals and values of this institution. Furthermore, I would like to thank our Registrar in absentia, Dr. Y.S.R. Murthy, who has always facilitated the university in fulfilling its vision. Dr. Sanjeev P. Sani, the Principal Director of Jindal Institute of Behavioral Science, we thank him for his persistent encouragement and guidance. The Chief Proctor, Mr. Sridhar Patnaik, has never failed to extend his constant support and commendation to us. He has been our source of rationale and is the reason why the fest could be structured the way it has. Lastly, I would like to make sure to extend my most heartfelt thanks to the people that make the fest, and that is our organizing committee. The people who work day and night just to give us 3 days of the fest. The success of this fest is a result of your hard work. And on behalf of all the chairs, I would like to thank you from the bottom of my heart. Without what we like to call the beloved Biswamil family, the fest wouldn't have reached the echelon it has today. Thank you. Also, I would like to call my co-chairperson Shreyas Maheshwari to say a few words.
As we count the last moments before the fest commences, I would like to talk about the spirit of Biswamil. In the past 6 years, Biswamil has grown inexplicably, and its backbone has always been the Biswamil committee. As Upasana said, the fest is made up of everyone that works day and night. They define what the fest is eventually known for. And as we stand here today, I couldn't have been more proud of the work effort everyone has put in. The spirit of Biswamil is perennial. It remains the one constant sentiment in the lives of all the organizers. The thing that remains is the vision that our predecessors held, and now our successors continue to hold on. The idea of inclusivity and embracing our roots. The past 6 years of the fest has not only created a sense of community, but also made sure that the university gives space to all the ideas, discussions, and discourse. We hope to pass on those values to the upcoming organizing committees of the fest. As the fest grows more and more with each year, we really hope we can maintain the ethics and morals we have strived for so far. As we come towards the end of the speech, I would just like to reiterate the facts that none of this would have been possible without the support of the administration, the Biswamil organizing committee, and lastly, the student body who always make all the turbulent times and the sleepless nights worth it. I hope you all enjoy the 3 days of Biswamil 2019.
Thank you, Chairs. We want to show you a glimpse of the previous editions of Biswamil and tell you what Biswamil is all about.
Fast car.
want you to be my friend. We'll make it to the world ends. Show me to a higher place. Take me out of space. I want you to be my friend. We'll make it to the world ends.
Ceremony, we would now like to invite Professor Dabiru Sridhar Patnaik, Chief Proctor, O.P. Jindal Global University, to come forward and deliver the vote of thanks.
Thank you so much. Good evening, everyone. We have great pleasure in welcoming the Chief Guest, Madam Shalu Jindal, this evening, and also all the students representing various institutions, universities and colleges from around the country and even abroad, and our own students, and of course the huge leadership of Biswamil. It's a multi-tiered leadership and excellent efforts, we must say, in ensuring that all this has come to fruition this evening, and we are sure that the next 3 days is going to be an extravaganza of spirit of the festival and also success. Indeed, as Madam Shalu Jindal mentioned during her remarks, this is what exactly this university stands for. We not only take our curricular activities seriously, but we also do believe at this university that it's important to have co-curricular and extracurricular activities too, because an amalgamation of all these activities would make what you are and what you're going to become in the foreseeable future, because all these activities would give you the much necessary social quotient, emotional quotient, in addition to the intellectual quotient that you already have, and that's what is going to give you the edge in whatever professional and social endeavors that you intend to take up. And that's the mission of this university as well. And we are so glad that Biswamil has become what it is today. I understand this is the 6th edition of the fest, and it has grown not only in nature, scale and scope, but it's also become one of the signature festivals of the university, and also a marquee festival of the university, which is only going to be emulated by other institutions around the country, because it reached where it has to reach in terms of its significance. But not just the significance of the fest, which makes our evening special and important, but as rightly remarked by the Vice Chancellor, the evening becomes indeed truly special and significant by the presence of Mrs. Shalu Jindal for various reasons which Professor Rajkumar had already vividly described. But the most important reason will be that her personality, in terms of being an inspiring individual and also an inspiring professional, and she is multifaceted. She excelled in all walks of life, as you are aware, and especially one should make a mention about her contributions to art, literature, dance, and all these activities would indeed go on to epitomize what Biswamil stands for, and that makes this particular festival all the more important and all the more special. And on behalf of the university, the student community, the Biswamil OC, and all our guests coming from different institutions, we cannot thank you, ma'am, enough for taking out time to be with us and for inspiring all of us, and particularly our students, because as I had just mentioned, the work that you had done and the contributions you made, it reflects on the spirit of this festival. So having said this, we also truly believe that the Biswamil Organizing Committee, along with the larger student body, will continue to be inspired by Madam Shalu Jindal's contributions, and would go on to ensure that the spirit of the festival and the spirit of the inauguration of this particular festival is indeed kept intact, and you're going to ensure that you're going to make this particular festival a success, which is also going to be in consonance with the objectives of the fest, which Biswamil is meant for, and also the values that Madam Shalu Jindal personally cherishes and endeavors. And all this a beautiful amalgamation on this particular evening. And last but not the least, we would also like to thank the gigantic efforts of the Biswamil Organizing Committee. And I for one must personally share, it's been truly a great learning experience. Every part of the discussion we had, the space we sent, and we have many things to learn from each other, and in particular one of the important things is your organizational abilities and your organizational efforts. And we need to have a debriefing after this and to have a presentation to learn more on how to take all these things forward. So we only have all appreciations for your efforts, and we thank you indeed. And we also thank the student council members and the entire JGU student body for being a part of this very important festival in this milestone year of the 10th anniversary of the OP Jindal Global University. Thank you all.
Thank you, Professor, for your kind words. We would like to thank everyone present today. We would request all of you to stay back and join us for a high tea that is arranged right outside this auditorium, and sincerely hope that the next 3 days are full on the campus, are full of fun and worth remembering. We request every one of you to remain seated as the guests are escorted outside the venue. Thank you. How am I supposed to go, guys?